I think we can all agree that everybody loves free stuff, or at least stuff that is less expensive, and it seems like we're getting a deal. Well, that's exactly what is happening here. According to reports, we are now seeing new records. These records are being broken as we speak, and I want to address these, but they're providing some more money back into the American people's pockets. That could be good news. It could be big news for many people, but some are saying we should be concerned because how all this is unfolding at the moment. So I'm going to break down what is going on in just a moment. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So one of the concerns that millions and millions of people have, especially here in the United States, is are we going to see additional taxes? Are we going to see benefits get cut? Are we going to have to pay for more because we are getting more? Well, here's the answer. The answer is most likely yes. Because what has happened over the past few years is Congress comes out, passes a bill, and says, this is how much it's going to cost you, or cost the United States government. It will not cost you a thing. But now we're starting to find out all these different programs are really starting to unravel, and now could potentially cost American taxpayers more money. Case in point, look at this. Obamacare signups hit a record 21.3 million as President Biden pushes his efforts to lower healthcare costs. Now, who's it going to lower healthcare costs for? Well, according to reports, it's going to be the lower and middle class households, but not all of them. Here's what we know. Right now, it is costing, or the Congressional Budget Office has estimated that Obamacare would originally cost about $940 billion over 10 years. Well, that number has ballooned up to more than $1.6 trillion over that same 10-year period. Guess what? We will have to pay that. So just because you're getting Obamacare, somebody has to pay for that. Yes, there's subsidies out there, there's tax credits, right? But just understand, somebody has to pay for that. Now, I want to show you something else, because I think this is fairly interesting. The Affordable Care Act enrollment, or Obamacare, it's surging in red states this year. Look at this. Okay, we're over here in Texas, right? This is Texas down here. Texas is seen as one of the higher as far as the change in enrollment for 2023 to 2024. Over 40%. Okay, that's a big jump. Right? California over here between 0 and 20%. Florida is between 20 and 40%. Yeah. And then we got 3 states where they're up over 60%. Maine, okay, and DC are down. Enrollment dropped. That's interesting, but why would that happen? Especially, why would that happen in 2024? Well, here's the reason why. States have been pretty much disenrolling people from their Medicare program, or Medicaid, excuse me. And so that's kind of what's happening at this time. States are rethinking the Medicare enrollment efforts as millions have lost coverage. This happened in the end of 2023. Okay, so this was big. I want to show you this really quick. This is the Medicaid disenrollment rates across the states. Okay, you look over here in Texas, 64% got disenrolled. Over here in Washington State, 36. California, 27. Florida, 32. Right, Illinois, 10%. Okay, on the average U.S., 35% disenrollment rates. Okay, that's for Medicaid. Well, that's why many people say we are seeing a number of signups for Obamacare, because so many people lost Medicaid coverage because they had to be, they had to be deemed eligible, which many of them didn't go back through the process because over the past few years, we've seen that people just didn't need it, right? Look at this. It says the so-called unwinding process in which states are redetermining Medicaid eligibility for the first time in 3 years has highlighted the administrative and technical barriers that typically prevent many who are eligible from signing up or remaining enrolled. That's what we were seeing. Because again, almost everybody was approved for it during the pandemic. Now, not so much. But why does all this matter? Here's one of the reasons and one of the concerns that many people have. One of the big crises here in the United States is we're getting tens of thousands of illegal immigrants, hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants are entering the United States every single month. Many of whom are trying to claim asylum, right? So here's the problem. During the fiscal year of 2023, 60,014 refugees were admitted into the United States due to asylum. 60,000, just over 60,000. However, that was only who was admitted into the United States. Okay? We have a backlog of more than 1 million open cases. Okay? There's more than 1 million people that are claiming asylum here in the United States that are still in the United States. They do not get health care. Okay? They don't get it. They don't get Obamacare because you have to be, first off, you have to be approved as far as asylum. If you come into the United States and are seeking asylum, okay, you are eligible for Obamacare, but only if you have been granted employment authorization. Well, here's where things get interesting. Right now, and this is one of the reasons why the Biden administration is trying to get more funding for the courts so they can hire additional judges and they can push people through the process much faster. But if somebody gets their asylum approved, they're in the United States, they go through the entire court process, right? They're in front of a judge. They are now in the United States legally. The Biden administration has vowed to expedite all work permits. So some people are able to get a work permit in just a couple weeks. Others, it takes 6 months or maybe a little bit longer, but the majority, you'll get a work permit in a couple weeks. So not only are people able to get a work permit, they now are in the United States legally. They went through the process, which Republicans say the process is too easy. There's really no way we can observe these people or see where they're coming from, what their intentions are, by just talking to them once or twice. It just doesn't happen. Republicans say we need to be more strict as to who we let into the United States, where Democrats say no, all these people are going through the process legally, are in the United States, give them a work permit. Remember what I told you. In order to be eligible for Obamacare, you need work authorization and you need to have your asylum granted. That's it. That is one of the concerns that many people have. Is we saw Obamacare, it rose. It cost more money in 2024 than it did in 2023. Guess what's going to happen in 2025? It's probably going to cost more money. But that's not something that we are too concerned with now, because the concern now is, well, let's just get more people signed up. As we get more people signed up, we will potentially be saving them more money as opposed to them going to the private exchange and getting it there. So again, the concern right now is, what is our tax bill going to look like? How are we going to pay for Obamacare in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? How's all this going to be paid for? Well, according to experts, they say, we know how it's going to be paid for. We are just going to increase taxes. We're going to put additional taxes on different things, right? Some you'll see taxes on beverages. You'll see taxes on cannabis. You'll see taxes on crypto and other ways to make money and other profits that you may get from your portfolio. It doesn't matter. Taxes are going to be there. So I ask you this one question. Do you think this is the best move forward? To provide anybody that is granted asylum, give them health coverage almost immediately. Let me know your thoughts. But I thought this was interesting. And I wanted to bring this up to you because, again, Obamacare hits a record of 21.3 million people. But at the same time, right, it's not the Democratic states that are seeing the enrollment surge. It's actually Republican states. It's the red states that are seeing a massive surge. So, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. How do you feel about this? Do you think this is a good thing or do you think this is a bad thing? Let me know down in the comment section below, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.